Building a brand is sort of like yoga. What do I mean by that? Well, it's all about pain, struggle, stretching yourself, and putting yourself in situations that you've never been in otherwise. But what you get from that is so much better. And after a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, consistency, good things come from it. In this video, I want to show you how you can take the lessons of yoga and apply it to your own brand. Check it out. All right, I'm 33 years old. I've been going to the gym consistently for many, many years. And in the past 6-7 months since taking yoga, I'm seeing my body develop and change and look better, feel better than it has in many, many, many years. Now, why is that? It comes down to trying something that my body's not used to. Yes, for that hour and 15 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, it is pure pain. For sure. I mean, I look forward to it because I know the good stuff that comes from it. And I apply all of this back to beginning stages of building a brand, building a company, maybe even putting your book out there, writing your own story. In the very beginning, it is going to be nothing but pain. Seriously, you are going to try things that maybe feel really, really good to you. Like chaturanga, for example. Chaturanga, I don't know what it is. It just makes me, it's my favorite move. It makes me feel good. And I knew when I first went through it that, yeah, this is like my favorite position. And I know that is doing good for me. And there's other things like downward dog for 10 minutes. Emily and Hillary, if you're watching this now or later, yes, that's a struggle and that's a big pain. But I know the good that comes from it. And it's the same thing with your building your brand. When you're doing yourself a favor by making sure you get yourself on camera every day, oh man, that's nothing but pain in the beginning. Trust me. Every day, maybe once a week, so that's not bad. Going once a week. But if you're going to start to do it consistently, you are going to be, finding yourself stressed out, pissed off that you didn't get it done, or maybe some things didn't go your way. Whatever it is, that pressure is going to be nothing but pain in the beginning. Same thing with growing your team. I was a one-man band for a while, for a very, very long time. And when we started growing, hiring new writers, marketers, even a project assistant, Ashley, I know you'll be watching this. It was very difficult to trust other people with your baby, with something that you're building and growing, and you have to find the right pieces, people who can really, really help. That they trust you in supplying them with income and showing them what they need done and making sure you're able to guide them. And it's difficult to do that stuff because it's a struggle, and uncomfortable situations are just a part of building a brand. Just like going to yoga. To me, like going to a gym is not uncomfortable. It's just, but that's different than yoga. Yoga is a whole different world to me. So if you are in business, but you're not in branding in general, it's a whole different world. There's little marketing techniques that are going on left and right in big companies that you don't know of. Some things just don't feel right for you to do. And the greatest marketers, the greatest branders know things that other people don't. It's almost like an instructor, a yoga instructor. They know where people can hurt themselves and where other people are going to cheat on moves, and they know that you're able to see a different perspective. And I'm seeing that now as every time I go to yoga, or even picking up an instrument, I play music. In the very beginning, it's very, very, very challenging to learn a new song or new chord pattern, if you will. But what comes from that is great music. Comes from that is joy. Comes from yoga, I feel better. I'm able to stand taller. I'm noticing myself standing taller, feeling stronger. My body looks different, and it came from pain. People try to hide from pain their whole life. I think you got to run towards it, especially early on in your life when you have the energy to fight through the bullshit. The longer you wait, it's only going to hurt you. people out there who are working for a company, a big company, who are saying to themselves, man, I'm going to start a business someday. I just got to know when the right time is. Well, every day that goes by, it's almost like you're neglecting your body a little bit. You're neglecting going to yoga. You're neglecting putting the right stuff in your body. You're just delaying. And over time, your body becomes less adaptable. I think that's the best way. Now, it can still adapt. It's human. It's going to adapt. It just becomes less adaptable. So that's almost as if, we were talking about animals who are taken out of the wild and treated as pets the other day with me and my buddies. Those pets can go back into the wild and have a chance of survival, but not nearly as great as if they just started off in the wild. Human beings are the exact same way. The longer you wait from getting out of that job you hate and starting a brand or business, the more pain it's going to be for you. And I think that's something that I try to tell everyone, get started, get out there into the wild as soon as you can. Start putting yourself on camera. Start going through the pain. Start going through that consistent 3-day session of just nothing but pain for your brand. Because over time, 6-7 months goes by, you're going to start to see yourself walk a little taller, walk a little easier, talk on camera a little faster, a little more clear. And all that comes together in time, but you have to get started. So it's just like me. I should have started yoga 28, 29 years old before I turned 30. But I thought I was a little bit too masculine to do so. Man, was I wrong. People, I grew up in a household, my mom's always was telling me, don't be a show-off. Don't tell how great you are. Don't do that stuff. Well, if you're building a brand and you don't think that your company is great, nobody else is going to either. And so I didn't want to, early on, I didn't really have the gumption to get on camera. I'll maybe put myself in blog posts, maybe put myself out there, maybe fight for every inch, getting into media in any shape or form. Over time, all those barriers start to drop. And all the pain you go through early on, the stretching, this feels good, this doesn't feel good, those experiences that all entrepreneurs will face someday. You get it out of the way early on, and you start to get better. And these instructors that I'm talking to at yoga, they've been doing it 10, 15 years, so it's not a big deal for them to do these crazy moves that are just truly impressive. And I know if I would stick with this for 5 more years, I'll be 38 years old, I know I'll be a whole different machine when it comes to yoga. So I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years, and I'm a whole different animal, machine, if you will, compared to what I was 10 years ago. I'm able to read people a little easier. I'm able to understand marketing techniques. I'm able to understand branding, the colors, the messages, how important it is to say this when you should do this. And I would never have done that, or I've never have learned that if I didn't go through nothing but pain early on. Like I said, some things are going to come naturally to you. Whether it's putting yourself on camera, maybe taking pictures, maybe motivational quotes, maybe Instagram. Something is like chaturanga to me. Very easy for me to do. The downward dog. Pain in the ass. Pun intended, I guess you could say. And all of that takes, the ability to analyze your own strengths, your weaknesses, know what you have to work on, what you don't want to work on, what you want to just skip for now. Blog posts, hiring people, networking on Facebook and Instagram, how to network, where's your audience, who is your direct target audience, is your target audience going to change over time? A lot of this comes from screwing up, and maybe not even screwing up, but just finding your own rhythm. Maybe going to yoga 5 days a week is too much early on, so I do 2 times a week, then to 3. Maybe the same thing with you in video. Do you put yourself on camera every day, or do you start off with once a week? And it's a slow, gradual process. When you're building your brand, you remember it's going to be a slow, gradual process, and eventually you'll be able to walk taller, walk faster, bend over a little easier, put yourself on camera, write a little faster, write a little bit more clear, hire more people, attract better clients, and it's just a slow, gradual process. And then in the very end of this, one of the other things I've learned through building a brand is to celebrate calmness and the reward. One of my favorite parts, I guess you could say, is at the end of the yoga sessions. You know, they do the spray and they turn off the lights and it's nice and quiet. And you have your own little 5 minutes to 10 minutes of just your time. Just complete your time. And you're gonna do that with your brand. Where maybe it's on a Sunday, you shut off your cell phone and you just have your time. You don't have to do 24/7, 7 days a week. You find out where your peaceful spots are. You enjoy those wins, celebrate them in any capacity. And eventually you start to really, really soak in, you know, from pain to pleasure or to calmness. And you start to become, I guess you could say, addicted to it. And so when building a brand, when you're putting yourself out there, remember, you stick with it. You're gonna be able to move and feel better than probably you've ever felt in your entire life. Stay tuned for more about building a brand, marketing yourself, or growing a business. My name is Mike Fallat, and I started from zero.